All right, till the morning. Again. Right here. Should be here, right? Right. So I'm gonna take a look at some multiple choice. Right. I'll try to add maths first, and I'll do physics, and I'll do maths, right? I was making sure I have all the years, all the questions. Right. Remember in add maths, you're allowed to use a calculator, right? So make sure you have it in case you have to help me out. I do have mine. Oh wait, no, I have one. Right. I know it have answers out there, but just doing them out with working, right? I'll try to work out all that has to be worked out. Right, this paper is 2023. Right, let's start. So you want to factorize here. Right, you're going to have to factorize here. What you could do is there's nothing common here. There's nothing common there, so you could just separate it a little bit. Right, you could put 9q minus 5q and then bring the 5r here. 5r minus pr. Right, you could factor out q, and here you could factor out r. Right, so you're getting, did I factor that out right? Hold on. Right, yeah. So you're factoring out q, and then you're factoring out r. So that's 5 minus p, right? We have one slight problem here. These two are not the same, right? So what you could do here, instead of factoring out plus r, you factor out minus r, right? So now you will get p minus 5. So you have p minus 5 by q minus r. Right? That's apple. Right? The next thing you could have done, was multiply them out and see which one will give you the answer, right? Right? Stop at any point in time if I do agree or not sure, right? Right? So that's the first one there. Next one, they want quotient. They want the quotient when divided by. The thing is here, you could look at this, right? And they want the quotient, right? The quotient is not the remainder. The quotient is what will be left on top here, right? So if you take a linear and divide it by a cubic, you should get a quadratic. All right. So you could totally ignore those two, of course. Right. Let's see let's see what we'll get real fast. Let's at least do the first two parts of it. X plus 2. Right. Sometimes we have shorter ways to do these multiple choice, but x into x cubed is x squared. X squared by x squared by 2. Right? Minus, minus. Right? This will be 0, and this will be minus 9x. Right? X into minus 9x squared is minus 9x. And you can stop right there. Right? There's no need to continue because the answer will be D. Right? No need to continue. Okay? Next one here. They want was A, H, and K. Right? So you know what A is 1, B is the value in front of X, and C is 19. So all you have to do is just to find H. You know that H is B on 2A. So what's that? That's minus 8 over 2, which is minus 4. So there's, again, no need to continue. Right? No need to continue. Okay? That's it. You're done there. Right? For those who did other years already, you recognize plenty of these repeats already, right? Plenty of these repeats, but just make sure and read them once or twice. You might just change the numbers and things. Just pay attention, right? Calculate the values of x, for which x plus 15 squared is equal to 64x. So you expand this out first. This is x squared If you want to square root both sides here, you can do that too. But then you'll get root x, so that's a little problem, right? So what you can do is expand it out. You'll get x squared plus 30x plus 225 and bring across 64 equal to 0. So that'll be x squared minus 34x plus 225 is 0. And anybody can solve that faster than the calculator?
So it's 9 and 25.
9 and 25, thank you. Right, so just remember to bring it across on the right side, right? On the left side, I mean. Next one, right? They want the roots of the equation. So this is A, this is B, this is C. One option is to just plug it in the calculator and see if you get real and distinct, or you could just use B squared minus 4AC, right? Minus 6 squared minus 4 by 3 by minus 5, right? There's 36 plus 60. Regardless, it's something more than 0, right? Something greater than 0. So if it's greater than 0, you have real and distinct roots. Okay. Right, they give you a quadratic equation is such that the sum, so they give you the sum of the roots. Always remember quadratic of this form, right? X minus the sum of the roots. The sum of the roots is minus 2 and 3, plus the product of the roots, which is 3/4, equal to 0. Right, let's multiply everything by 12. You'll get 12x squared. That'll become plus 8x. And when you multiply this by 12, you'll get plus 9. 8x plus 9, they're looking like apple. Next one here. Right, the set of values of x for which x minus 2 over 2 minus 3x is more than or equal to 0. So what we do here, we multiply both sides, right, by the conjugate squared. Right, the right hand side will be 0. Right, the left hand side is cancel, and you'll get 5x minus 2, 2 minus 3x. Right, you'll end up with your critical values being x is 2/5 and x is 2/3, I think. Yeah, 2/3, right? But remember, this is a maximum, right? So if it's a maximum, then if you're using the summary I would have given you, you have to use the rules for minimum, right? So you're kind of just reversing it. When it's more than or equal to, you just reverse it when it's a maximum. Right, that will be for less than or equal to less than the smallest, right? Bigger than the largest. Which one is that? Less than the smallest, bigger than the largest. Looks like B. B is the answer. Right, if it's a maximum, it just reverse the rules, right? Everything inside here. Right? Wait, no, sorry. That's wrong. I reversed the wrong rule there. It should be between them, right? It should be between the smallest and the largest, which is the smallest, 2/5. Sorry about that. That one is C, right? But when it's a maximum, it might look something like that. Here is 2/5 and here is 2/3. Right? They want more than 0, so they want everything in between. Right? Remember, you can't have 2/3, right? 2/3 not allowed. Right? That's 7 8. Remember, if all you have questions, all you could ask it. I know all already, I just want to get the answer, but if you have questions. The range of values for which x squared minus 7x plus 10 is less than 0. So first thing you do, you get critical values. I think that should be 5 and 2, right? So the critical values are 2 and 5, right? Remember, one is a minimum, 2, 5, all the values in between. So all the values in between 2 and 5, right? That's boy. Right, next one. Things like this, you can drop it straight in the calculator and work it out, right? But if you do have one, 8 by 2. 8. Hold on there, give me 1 second. Right, sorry there earlier. Right, now you multiply 8 by 2, that's 16. 8 by minus root 5, minus 8 root 5, 2 by root 5, right? Root 5 by root 5. So you'll get 16 minus 5, that's 11, and minus 8. Minus 8 plus 2 is minus 6 root 5. So 11 minus 6 root 5, apple. Okay, next one. Also, if you all decide to do papers, right, and you have questions on particular questions, on particular questions, you could screenshot and send it to me or send me. Yeah, screenshot it and send it to me, right, and I'll do it. I remember there was a tricky log, so I just can't remember which year. Right, you want to break this down. So in order to simply, yes, you could use a calculator, right? Because you're not going to watch your working. So this is 5 to the minus 1, 125 is 5 cubed, right? So 3 by 3 that will cancel. So this will be 5 to the minus 1, which is 5 to the minus 2, which is 1 on 25. Boy, right? When you plug this in the calculator, what do they give you? What do they give you the answers? This? Or just give it to you like, I think just give it like this, and plug it in fast and tell me now. if they give you the answer as A or they give you the answer as B. As a fraction, 1 on 25. Okay, all right. Okay, nice. Next one, 11. They give you this thing here and they want you to solve for x. You know the usual thing, convert them to the base 3, right? Convert everything to the base 3, and then compare coefficients, right? So that'll be 3 to the 6x, that is a plus because they're multiplying. So that's 3 to the 6x plus 1 is 3 to the 2x. Right? You have your powers here, right? You have your powers there. You can equate them, so you'll get 6x plus 1 is 2x. So you'll get 4x is minus 1. When you switch them around, you'll get x is minus a quarter. Right? Remember, at worst, your answer is here. So you could plug it in here and see which one given you 9x. Or, I'm not too sure how to solve this on the calculator, but it might be able to be solved. Maybe. I'm not sure. Right?
Oh, definition is making me.
Was that Shannon?
Oh, sorry, sir.
What are we talking to?
No, I need an accent now.
All right. Next one, you have to solve these logs. Minus, same base, so we could divide, right? That'll be 5x plus 1 over 3x minus 5, right? And 2 is the same as log 2 to the 4. And you can drop the base and then cross multiply and solve, right? So you'll get 5x plus 1 is equal to 12x minus 20. Bring everything on one side, you'll get 7x is equal to what? 21. X is 3. Right? X is 3. C. Right? For the arithmetic progression, right? The nth term is what? So identify with that AP or GP. You recognize that like they keep adding 5 to all, right? So the first term is minus 12 and D is 5. So you're using the nth term, which is A plus N minus 1D. So A is minus 12 plus N minus 1. They want to get the nth term, right? And the D is 5. So that's minus 12 plus 5D minus 5. So that's 5N, sorry, 5N minus 17. Cut. All right, next one. They want the sum of this. So all you have to do is expand it out. K starts from 1, then 2, then 3. So you have 3 terms alone. So that's 1 on 1 plus 1 on 2 plus 1 on 3. Right? So that is, well, it's 1 on 1. There's a half. That's 1 plus what? That's 3, 6 plus 2, 6. And there's 6 on 6. So that's 5 on 6, 11. Right? That's dog. 15 minus 2 plus that converges to what limit? Right? Right. So first thing, converges to what limit? So what they're talking about here is sum to infinity. Right? The only convergence series is GP. So they want us to find sum to infinity, which is A over 1 minus R. Right? We know what A is. R will be 4 over 3 divided by minus 2. Or 4 over 3, right? I got minus 2/3. So it's 1. Let me just make sure I'm minus 2/3. Yeah, something right. Minus 2/3. So I am getting minus 2 divided by 1 and 1/3, that's 3 and 2, 5, 5 and 3. When you flip it over, it's minus 6 and 5, right? C. Right, next one. A line L passes through 6, 5 and is perpendicular to a line whose equation is this. So the first thing that we need to get is the gradient. So 4y is equal to minus 3x plus 7, right? So that's what we need first. So the gradient will be minus 3/4. Because you divide everything by 4, right? So we have the gradient and we're going to use the point now. So we're using y minus y1 is equal to the gradient, which was minus, sorry. This is the gradient of the line, right? But they wanted perpendicular. So the gradient will be 4 and 3, right? By x minus 6, right? So you'll get y minus 5 is 4 over 3x minus 3 into that 2, 2 by 4 is 8. Right? And now to make it look like all those, just multiply everything by 3. 3y minus 15 is 4x minus 24. Right? Do I have that correct? So I'm just looking at the options there. What did they bring the x on this side? Okay. So 0 is equal to 4x minus 3y. When you bring it across, you should get a minus 9. Which one looking like that? Apple? Right, apple. Right, let's go again. Right, remember this is recorded if you want to just, if I take off the writing too fast, right? I'll try and separate the subjects as we go along. Right, they give you this line and they intersect. I have to solve this now. Right, they give you this line and they want the coordinates of P where they intersect, right? So multiply this by 4, right? What you will get? You will get 12x minus 4y minus 20x is 0. And then what we're going to do now, minus or add. Same, so we're going minus, 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 minus. So 7x minus that is minus 5x, 0. And this is plus 45. So x is 9. Yes, I don't want to go again. X is 9, so we're good to go. Right? The points of intersection of the line, y is equal to that, and the circle are the next one to solve. Right? So y is equal to x plus 3. So we can put that in here, right? And then get a quadratic and solve it. Yeah, we gotta do that. Right? So that's x squared plus a square in this one time. X squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 17. Sorry, equal to 17 because the x squared is going to cancel. Oh crap, no, they're not going to cancel. Right, so that'll be 2x squared plus 6x. What was this again? Only 9, right? 9 minus 17, right? 9 minus 17 will be minus 8. Right, and then you could go ahead and we could go ahead and solve. So that'll be what? X plus 4, x minus 1, I think. I feel so. So you get minus 4 and positive 1. Minus 4, positive 1. We need dog doing that. So that's dog. Right? So that's a dog there, right? That is the dog. Next one. 19. Given that OA is that and OB is that, find AB. So you have to remember your little diagram here. O to A to B, right? AB will be equal to A to O plus O to B. Right? A to O, we just change up the sign. So that's 17 minus 25. O to B, 4 to 5. So that is 21 minus 20. We good to go? That's dog. Next one, 20. A vector A is given by that, a unit vector parallel to A. So it has to be, I remember this one was a little troublesome. It has to be a unit vector. So you have to make sure, right? You have to make sure that you end up with a unit vector, right? And then parallel simply means it's a multiple of this. Okay? So of course the answer has to be one of these, right? Can't be this, right? So you have to make sure it's a unit vector first. Okay? So let's find the unit vector for this. So let's get the magnitude. Square root of 8 squared plus 15 squared. How much is that? I feel like that's about 17. Right? So that's 17. Right? So good. So that's 17. So therefore, a unit vector will be 8i plus 15j. That's a unit vector, right? And then they want it parallel. So it can't be 1 because that'll be the unit vector, not parallel. And so all we need is a multiple, any multiple, right? So that could work. D is the answer. Right? Any questions on this one? Because this was a troublesome one. I remember a teacher had this one to work out for him. Right? So you got to be careful with this one, right? They want it parallel and they want it to be a unit vector. Right? So although this might be parallel, is now a unit vector. And this is the unit vector, right? You want it parallel, so it has to be a multiple. Right? This one, the position vectors of A and B are relative to the origin. So they want to find the angle, right? So that'll be cosine inverse of the dot product O to A all over the product of the magnitude. Right? And all you have to do is just plug in the values and work it out, right? So let's find dot product. That'll be 6 minus 5, which is 1. And then we need the product of the magnitude. So remember how to find magnitude. Magnitude here will be 2 squared plus 5 squared, square root of that. So that's 4 plus 25, that's root 29. And next one is root 10. Right? So it looks like 1 over root 290. That's apple. Right? Those are repeats. Those are repeated questions. Right? I remember there's a document, if I could find that back way, with some of the most popular questions. Anyway, cos 5 pi on 12, right? You can just plug that in a calculator and work out that, right? Plug it here and tell me what it is. I think the answer is either A or B. It had a root 4 at the bottom. Anybody have that one? And somebody plug in the one underneath as well. Anybody have 22? Right. 22 is apple. You just put that straight in the calculator, right? And 23, you could work it out. Put in the calculator from a place. I think 23 is boy. Yeah. Yeah, B. Okay, thanks. All right, next one. They gave you this here. If you first see the following protractor, which represents half a circle. The protractor has a radius of 1.5 meters and the angle AOB is 30 degrees. What is the arc length? What is the arc length along? Remember, arc length is arc theta, right? So that is 1.5, which is 3 on 2. 3 on 2 by theta. Theta will be, remember, pi is 180, right? So that'll be what? Pi on 6. That's 30 degrees is pi on 6, right? Right? So this will cancel here and you'll get pi on 4, I think. Right? Apple. Right? That'll be the arc length. So to just convert this to radians and multiply it by r. R, which is 3 on 2. Right. So theta is this. Reflex means that the value in the third quadrant. Third quadrant also means that sine theta will be negative. Right? So all we have to do is remember this. Sine had to be negative. Right? Just do it quick here. You have opposite and you have adjacent. So hypotenuse is 13, right? So sine will be opposite on 13 minus sine because it reflects. It's in the third quadrant, sine negative in third quadrant. So that's minus 5 and 13. All right, next one. Next one. Which of the following graph represents cos? Right, you're looking for one cycle or two, no matter really, no? Right, which one is cos? Well, it's cos x, right? Period is 2 pi. So it's not this, it's not this, so boy, right? Maximum is 1, period 2 pi. Right, given that this is acute, what is sine 2x? Well, you have to find sine x, usual thing. X is here, you have adjacent, and hypotenuse here is opposite. So it means that sine x is 4 and 5. So sine 2x is 2 sine x cos x. Right? So that would be 2 by 4/5 by cos x, which is 3/5. Right? So that would be 6 on 25. Did I multiply right? Oh yeah, why did I cancel? Sorry. 4 by 3 is 12. 12 by 2, if I put that out again wrong. 4 by 3 is 12, by 2 is 24. Dog. Right? I canceled by mistake there. Right? So you just multiply it out. That's 27. 28. Right? The size of angle measured in radians. Right? So there's a few things you can do, but one of the easiest is to take 180 and minus 144. right? So again, 36, right? 36 degrees, you want to convert it to radians. Remember that 180 is pi, right? So 1 degree is pi on 180. 36 degrees means you're multiplying it by 36, right? So that's 36 divided by 180. That'll give you 1/5. So that's 1/5 pi, which is apple. Twenty-nine is 2 sine x cos x. That they want you to expand that out. The top, if you remember your identities, the top is sine 2x and the bottom is cos 2x. If you remember your identities, right? So therefore, that's tan 2x cut. Right, next one, the equation of that, solve it. So you have to turn it into, just turn it into quadratic. That's 1 minus cos squared x is equal to 8 cos x. So that'll be 3 minus 3 cos squared x plus minus 8 cos x equal to 0. Right, if you get rid of the multiply by -1, you will get 3 cos squared x plus 8 cos x minus 3 is 0. Right, you can go to your calculator, solve that. What will that be? Solve for now. Right, 3 by 3 is 9. You want that plus, so this one will be minus. So I am getting cos x to be 1/3. Right, so that's boy. This has no solution, right? No solution to that one. So the gradient at this on this curve, so we reach differentiation, right? So we had to find dy dx. That'll be minus sine x, and then you're plugging this. That'll be minus sine pi on 6. This is a half, so the answer is minus a half. Right, so that's boy. So they give you a velocity time graph here, right? Which of the following statements about object's motion is true? We'll have to go through each one here for this one. The object covers the same distance during m than to r. We will have to find the area under the graph and see, right? So from under m is 2 by 10, right? 2 by 10, that's 20. That's this by this, right? So that's 20 meters. And here will be half the sum of the part. Well, why I didn't bother to do that? That's wrong. I can't believe I do that. Right? They both don't have the same area, right? The object moves with uniform velocity during f. Nah, the velocity changing. The object does not accelerate at t. That's correct. The object is at rest on m. Nah. So the answer is cut. Right? That's 32, 33. The way to differentiate this is product rule. Right? So du is 1, dv dx here is 2 cos 2x. So you plug it in, this by this, and then this by this. Right? No minus signs, right? Right? So that'll be apple. X by that'll be 2x cos 2x, and then 1 by sine 2x. right? So that's apple. At the 0.74 on the curve, 0.74 on the curve, dy dx is 0 and d2y is minus that, right? So the second differential is less than, so it's a maximum, right? 34 is dog, right? It's a maximum turning point because this value here is less than 0. Right, this one here, sine 4x minus cos 3x, the one, the second differential. First differential will be 4 cos 4x plus 3 sine 3x, right? And then that's the first differential, right? Second differential now, that would be, wait, yeah, that would be minus 16 sine 4x plus 9 sine 3x. Wait, that is why I have sine here. Hold on. That's not right. The differential of cos is sine, that's minus differential of sine. Oh, I write back the wrong thing. The differential of sine is cos. Okay, so that there is dog. Next one. Remember, add 1 to the power, divide by that new power, and divide by the differential of the denominator. Right? So that looks like dog. I mean cat. Right? Add 1 to the power and right, divide by the differential and the new power. So that's cat. This one here, the integral between 1 and 0, 1 plus x. So you want to integrate it first. This one that you can put in a calculator. Put it in and tell me what you get. Put it in there, you'll get x plus x squared on 2 plus x cubed on 3. Right? And then you want to plug in 2 and 1. So when you plug in 2, you'll get 2 plus 2 squared on 2 plus 2 cubed on 3. And when you plug in 1, you minus in 1 plus a half plus 1/3 plus 1/3. Right? Do a little maths there. Tell me what you're gonna. So I gain 1, 4 and 2 minus 1 and 2 minus 3 and 2, 8 and 3 minus 1 and 3. How much will I get there? Anybody get anything? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go with this. I feel like correct there. Anybody get that? Plug it in and make sure, right? Next one, 39. The gradient of a tangent to a curve C at x4 is given by that. The equation of the curve. So you have to integrate, right? When you integrate, add 1, that's 3 on 3. So you'll get 3x cubed minus 4x plus C. Right? So you need to get C. So you plug in y is 2. Minus 1 cube minus 4 by minus 1 plus C. So I got 2 is minus 3 plus 4 plus C. So that's 1. I guess C to be 1 plus 1. So that answer looking like apple. right? The region R is enclosed by the x-axis and that curve. So they want to find the area. So they want you to integrate between 1 and 0 minus x squared plus 2 with respect to x, right? So when you integrate this, you'll get minus x squared on 3 plus 2x, right? And when you plug in 1, it's minus x squared, right? So when you square the 1, you will get minus 1/3 plus 2, right? So that's boy. Right? Remember the minus outside, right? Right, 41. It refers to the following table, which shows the probability of a biased spinner landing on 3 of the 5 possible prizes. If the odds of winning a car and winning a cruise are equally likely, what's the probability? So everything here should sum to 1, right? Right, so when I add up this and this again, 0.4. Yeah, so everything here is 0.9. So everything here should be 0.1, right? But they said equally likely, so you had to divide it by 2, right? So that's dog. Right, that's dog. Which of the following is an advantage, right, of a stem and leaf over box and whisker? Most of the times, all the data is, you can see the data, right? Well, let's see. Stem and leaf over, right? It easily handles large amount of data. The box and whisker could do that too, you know. Means and quotas are immediately visible, right? But there's an advantage of the box and whisker. Several data sets can be compared on the same plot. It immediately shows any gaps that may exist in the data. So the best answer here, the only one that can really show missing data and gaps in the data is stem and leaf. All right, so we got to go with dog with this one. It immediately shows any gaps that might exist in the data. Several data sets can be compared on the same plot. You only really do 2 plots on that one, on the stem and leaf. Right, yeah, so if you have gaps in your data, the stem and leaf will show you that one time. Next one, the 50th percentile is known as the median, right? Right, if your team loses a match, blah, 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 bada bing, bada bing. So they have wins, they have losses, they have totals, right? If your team loses a match, what's the probability that the team is not a parrot chasers club? So what's the probability that you lose a match? So you lose a match. Where are the losers, right? So those are the losers, right? What's the probability that is not parrot? So this is parrot. So there's 11 and 17, dog. Right? If a team loses a match, remember it's like a conditional probability, yeah? So losers are 17 losers, and not parrot chasers club is 3 and 8. Right, so that's 11. Next one. A bag contains 15 balls numbered 1 through 15. What's the probability of selecting a ball 1 through 15? What's the probability of selecting a ball that has an odd number and is divisible by 5? Right, 1 to 15 means that you will have what, 8 odd, and you will have 7 even. Right, so you want an odd number that is divisible by 5, sorry. That's just what, 5, 10, 15? Odd number and is divisible by 5, yeah. So we only have 3 options there. Right, so there's 3 options out of all 15. So that is 1/5. Right. So it should have answers for the other years, right? Anybody send any that were hard? Any that you were practicing? Well, if you start practicing as yet. Anybody have those? Right. Are they? You'll have the answers for all the other years, right? Anybody have physics 2024, 2023? I wonder if I share that by.